What's up, grinders? Welcome back to the channel. So today I wanted to do a language video. I was looking for something fascinating, interesting, something that would, teach me something new about languages, but you know what? I found fucking nothing. It's the goddamn dead language space again. So I've decided to move on and we're gonna go look at this random video right here called The Downfall of Steak and Butter Girl. Now I'm actually curious to check this one out because as you guys know, I've gone kind of on like a little health journey and I've looked into the most random of shit as of recently and I've subbed to so many goddamn random channels. I've subbed to like random vegan channels, random fucking carnivore channels, random just health channels, like literally there's one that's called, simple or nutrition made simple or some shit like that. Like I've subbed to a bunch of channels, okay? And the funny thing is there is a lot of fucking drama in the in the foodie space when it comes to this type of stuff. And I managed to get down pretty deep into it and learned a bunch of it. And Steak and Butter Girl is a girl that I started following. It's got nothing to do with the fact that she's Asian and hot. It's got all to do with her wealth of deep knowledge and her love of meat. So we're going to check out how come she's now in a sudden downfall, because I haven't heard about this downfall. I randomly watched a video from her the other day, which is again just her eating steak. So I'm kind of curious to see how she's suddenly fallen down, entered the abyss.
Steak and Butter Gal's meteoric rise to internet fame in the carnivore community seems like a true fairy tale on the surface. She plays the
Okay, here's a problem straight up. I'm hearing music in the background, so we might need to speed this up a little bit, otherwise we're gonna get hit with the fucking copyright for sure. Yeah, I know it sucks, guys. It probably wouldn't even come from him. It would come from whoever is the manufacturer of that music.
Character of the perfect carnivore, all of her ailments have magically gone away, and her content garners millions of views. But under the surface, things aren't as rosy as they seem.
And you know what, here's a funny thing, before we get into this, so I've been watching a lot of vegan and fucking carnivore channels and stuff, not because I'm planning to go vegan or I'm planning to go carnivore, just because I want to know what the extremes think. If you really want to know, what is the middle ground, you just go to either extreme, and then the eating community, what is this called, like the nutrition community? The extremes are literally carnivore and vegan, okay? Like, vegan is not even, like, a nutrition thing. It's like this way of life that's completely separate to nutrition and just so happens to impact on nutrition. And carnivore is, like, the direct opposite, and the intention here is to get rid of everything except for meat, which apparently is the only thing that you will not have some type of reaction to, and help you heal your ailments, okay? And I've seen so many different videos where people compare, lifespans of fucking vegans versus people who are on the Mediterranean diet and all sorts of stuff, and then carnivores and then keto diet and stuff, and they're saying, the best diet is like vegan diet, or it should be technically plant-based, but then there's others that are saying, no, it's the Mediterranean diet, which includes some meat and stuff. So there's like this war that's going on in that community, and I'm just kind of stepping in, and right now we're going to step in the shit together. I'm assuming because someone's doing a downfall video on this chick, I bet you it's coming from a vegan channel. You know what? Let's go find out. He's got some muscles on him. Let's have a look. I live in San Diego, California, born in 1992. I've been a body for 16 years. Yep, vegan. Fucking knew it. It's a vegan. Okay. Oh, I should have seen it straight from the banner. Vegan food, fitness, and lifestyle. So you just know straight up he has a bone to pick with Steak and Butter Girl.
With one thing after the other falling apart, her perfect carnivore veneer seems to disappear as the truth slips through the cracks more and more. This episode of The Meat Grinder...
I actually tried carnivore like a long time ago. I think I lasted like 3 weeks. Not even that. And the reason being is because it's just fucking boring. Like, I need a little bit of spice in my life. Like, I love meat. I'm a big meat eater, okay? So I'll eat, like, 80% of meat, 70, maybe 60% meat. Like, I'm happy with that, like, that quantity to everything else. But just going full meat and cutting out, like, all grains and everything else and, like, fruits. I love fruits. It's just, it's not possible for me. And I don't even think it's healthy based on what I've, like, learned so far. And I'm not saying, like, the other extreme is healthy either. I think something around the middle is probably the safest, based on my limited research so far.
Is going to shock you, and just wait until you see what I uncover at the end. Bella Ma, aka Steak and Butter Gal's love for carnivorism seems undeniable, and people have an almost cult-like adoration for her conviction that the way you need to eat to cure all of your ailments is purely animal-based, citing her own ex-vegan journey and how carnivorism cured her acne and her poor body.
Oh my god, that is so true. Okay, in the carnivore community, so many of them are ex-vegans. And then I've seen in the ex-vegan community, at least a few of them are ex-carnivores. And I swear to God, what happens is these people, they need to gravitate, to the extreme. One extreme or the other, it doesn't matter. They pick one, they gravitate towards it. And then if it doesn't, after some amount of time solve some problem, they just flip to the opposite fucking extreme. There's no mediation in the middle. It's just like straight from one extreme to the other.
Body image, but right off the bat, something feels off.
Explosive diarrhea, loose stool.
She talks about poop a lot.
My poops are smooth as water.
And I don't know about you, but I believe that regular bowel movements are an obvious sign of good health.
Funnily enough, when I did vegan once, because I did that for probably 2 weeks, I had massive gut issues, like insane gut issues when I swapped over to it, and I was like, nah, I'm out. So, and when I went carnivore for a bit, I didn't have that many issues. Like, I just pooped less, but I didn't really have that many issues. I don't know why we were talking about poop, but I know you guys like a good poop.
But there's something wrong here because apparently she never poops.
I poop 2 times a week.
And I know, I'm pretty vocal about my disapproval of animal-based diets, but I think maybe I've been a little hard on the carnivores. Maybe I'll give it a shot. So, Bella, what's it like to become a beginner carnivore?
I felt some of the most dreadful symptoms. For example, loose stools, explosive diarrhea. When I first went carnivore, I struggled with a whole phase of explosive diarrhea. And I'm gonna be honest,
I actually think this is not so much about the diet, and this is more about changing your diet drastically at once. Because, as I said, I experienced pretty much what she's describing when I went to vegan for a little bit. And, you get plenty of fiber in that diet. And it's just I'm pretty sure it's just changing your diet substantially just throws whatever's in your system, I don't know the terms, the fucking bacteria, your gut bacteria or whatever, it just throws it into a fit and it's like, what the fuck's going on here? And then you just end up shitting everywhere. But because I'm mainly a meat eater, when I went to carnivore, it really was not that big of an issue for me. I did not experience any problems. I just went to the toilet less.
probably one of the biggest pitfalls and negatives of going carnivore, but rest assured it is temporary. It's not going to last forever.
All right, you got me. I'm sold. After a few quick rounds of Russian roulette with my toilet bowl, it's smooth sailing, right?
I would not be surprised if you got meat aversion, palate fatigue, nausea, heartburn, acid reflux every single day.
Yeah, I didn't get any of that. I did go for just roughly a month until I got bored of the diet, but I didn't get any of that.
You're losing me a little bit now.
And I also wouldn't be surprised if your autoimmune issues that you want to heal or your skin problems that you want to heal got worse, like what happened to me.
Yep, I'm out. This is the worst cult indoctrination video of all time. Even Charles Manson.
It's kind of funny, a vegan talking about cult and cultish behavior. I know a fair few vegans in the Esperanto community, and some of those motherfuckers can be really cultish. So it's really funny hearing from one cult calling another cult cultish. Oh my god. And then again, I'm sure there's perfectly normal carnivores out there, nothing wrong with them type of thing, but obviously when it comes to the YouTubers who are promoting this stuff, they're usually the most cultish.
Manson would say, yeah, that's a little too crazy.
Every single day, I started to notice that my eyes, anytime I woke up in the morning, they were filled with gunk.
Eye boogers. Literally crystals came out of my eyes. And some days they were very gooey and sticky. This sounds disgusting.
Yeah, it does. That's because it is.
I know it sounds incredibly dreadful, but again, I hope that you can learn from my biggest mistake.
Going carnivore? Don't worry, I don't think a single person watching this video wants to walk through your minefield of daily heartburn, nausea, gunk oozing out of your eyes,
I never had that with either diet, so I don't know what that's about.
diarrhea blasting out of your ass.
Explosive diarrhea.
Sounds like a nightmare. I am good. But this nightmare only gets worse. See, here's an interesting tidbit. Bella used to be vegan, and she loves to compare herself vegan versus carnivore, like in this clip.
And I had extreme chronic bloat.
Pause that picture. All right.
I have heard that from a fair few vegans, that they can become very bloated, but let's have a look. Okay, well, it's hard to say, like, these two photos are, like, two different positions, two different outfits. She obviously looks thinner as a carnivore.
Someone help me out here. She literally looks exactly the same, right? I mean,
oh, come on, mate. Now you're pushing it. She's clearly got, like, a lot more thinness with the carnivore, but I'm not saying, like, thinness is a good thing. I'm just saying there's a clear difference.
Different clothes, different angles, playing the violin, but is it just me? I don't know. But speaking of Bella's vegan versus carnivore comparisons, please, let's talk about her cholesterol, because to be frank, it's not through the roof. It's on a rocket ship hurtling out of the atmosphere. And as we know, the carnivore cult is allergic to science. So, for example, they deny that your LDL cholesterol matters even a little bit. In this clip, she has a Dr. Hampton reviewing her blood.
And then you'll look at the LDL, the low-density lipoprotein, which some people consider bad cholesterol. You'll see that number rise substantially. In general, what you should expect, if you do low-carb, keto, or carnivore, you may see a slight rise.
Dude, slight?
This is something I've always been very confused about, because the carnivores, they talk about it and they say it depends on the type of cholesterol. I don't really understand it fully. Maybe someone can explain in the comment section, but they're not so concerned about it. And there's even carnivore doctors who are like, yeah, no, that's okay if the cholesterol overall is high, as long as I think it's like the small cholesterol or something. I really don't get it. But then the freaking vegans, they're absolutely terrified of cholesterol. So like, I'm not sure what the real issue is here, because I remember also watching another video from someone who's completely normal, and he said, you know, these cholesterol ratings, they can be all over the place depending on what your baseline is before you get into any of these diets. So I really don't understand with cholesterol if this is like something you need to be terrified about, and like how do you even measure this? What's good, what's bad? There seems to be so much marketing around this.
She's got enough cholesterol to send a damn rhino to the emergency room, and you're saying that it's slight?
And Dave Feldman and others are doing research. So far, the preliminary data suggests that rise is not of any concern.
Oh, okay. Whew. Thank God. Dave Feldman, the software engineer and entrepreneur.
I began a low-carb, high-fat diet in April 2015. That's everything I could. Okay. So software engineer and entrepreneur. Okay, well, I get what the guy's saying here. He's not exactly an expert on this shit. But then again, I don't necessarily just say because someone has not been trained in a certain field, that does not mean that they do not know what they're talking about. Like, I do not have a degree or anything in education or in public speaking or in learning languages or any of this stuff. Like, this is my hobby. And yet I know a lot about this, a lot more than most people who work within this field, because I'm so fucking passionate about it. So I don't necessarily say that's a bad thing, but it is a little bit of a flag to be aware of.
Newer is on it, and others. So now we've caught Bella red-handed twice, making one claim, but then the reality is the opposite. She claims her diet is the healthiest, but she's not pooping normally, and her cholesterol is so high that any responsible doctor would be calling and urging you to come into the ER immediately. But you guessed it, it gets worse.
Okay, there was a lot of claims there. She's got the best diet. I'm pretty sure she does claim that. But then they all do. The vegans ones claim it. The carnivores claim it. The keto guys claim it. Everyone claims they've got the best diet. Like, really, is it the diet that's so goddamn important? I think it's just the weight. As long as you keep the weight down, you lower all freaking risks. That's what is my understanding of this from my very, entry into this. And by the way, guys, this is not me telling you what to think. I'm actually going through, a learning experience here, diving into health and learning these things. And I'm loving comments in the comments section and discussions on this. I am not sold on anything at the moment.
She must have been losing her mind with what I'm about to show you. In an attempt to add credibility to her claims, she made her boyfriend go carnivore. Now, she was hoping that he would excel with it and that she could expand her empire even more, especially with her male audience, by using him as this shining example, but it didn't quite.
Why would he help with the male audience? Let's be realistic. On YouTube, she's the one who would help with the male audience, and he would help with the female audience. That's just how it works on YouTube.
Work out. Actually, it went freaking terrible.
Explosive diarrhea.
Okay. It would work for the male audience if he was buff as fuck. Okay, because this is the weird thing with guys, okay? So you got a guy who's athletic. That's attractive to chicks, okay? And I guess gay men as well. I don't know too much about gay men. I haven't experienced and worked in that area too much. But let's get back to the fact of the matter here, okay? So, like, an athletic guy's attracted to chicks. Then you get a muscly guy attracted to chicks. Then you get the fucking monster. He's like a beast of a machine, okay? He'd eat a fucking table type of thing. The chicks don't generally like that, but the dudes are fucking into that. The straightest guys in the world are into the most muscly motherfuckers in the world. And I'm gonna be honest, okay? I've watched some videos of some buff guys going, fuck yeah, that'd be awesome if I look like that. And my wife is like, no fucking way, don't you dare. So it's like, is that gay? Am I gay just because I look at this super buff guy and I'm like, yeah, I want to be that? Like, what's the mentality behind that? Why do men think, like, being super fucking muscly is like, yeah, I want that, when we actually know that the chicks don't even like that? Like, my wife doesn't even like that. So why do we want that? I don't know, it's fucking weird.
One of the carnivore fitness world's biggest backfires.
Actually, I'm sorry I'm interrupting the video, but I'm just like out loud thinking right now. Maybe that is the male desire to just dominate within the group. And therefore we see the most muscly guy, you know, our intrinsic freaking, you know, primitive brain is like, ooh, he had muscle, he in charge of tribe. You know, maybe that's just what's happening there.
Let's see, he felt like dog crap, he was having a super hard time eating all that meat, he had a bunch of brain fog, the whole 9 yards. And all of a sudden, the Carna Queen was watching this fantasy of a perfect testimonial go up in smoke, and she was not happy.
One of the first things I noticed on the carnivore diet that persisted throughout the 3 months and eventually got the better of me is just lower energy. Now, I didn't experience the dips and surges of energy that I would on the SAD diet. That being said, I would kind of have a cloud of fatigue lasting throughout the day, which made me realize that the carnivore diet didn't really fit my body type and my body goals.
Hold on.
You know what? Massive respect to them for that. Because they could have just faked it. So many goddamn YouTubers just fake this shit. So the fact that, I'm just going to jump back. The fact that they got on camera after 3 months and released a video where he's saying, I can't do this, this doesn't work for me, here's the problems, even though she definitely wanted it to work for him. And they declared this to the world rather than hiding this shit. Massive respect to them for that, because that is what I hate with challenges and, you know, those channels that declare they're going to do certain things, and then when they can't do it, what's the name of that particular YouTuber? I don't know. What was something that was, you know, something about a hyper polyglot, Mikkel or something. Oh, yeah, that's right. When they do a challenge, they say they're going to do it. They act all big, tough, and mighty about it, and then they just kind of sweep it under the carpet when it doesn't go to plan. Rather than just saying, you know what? It didn't work. Let's try something else.
It made me realize that the carnivore diet didn't really fit my body type and my body goals.
Hold on.
Did you see her facial reaction? Oh my god, she was not happy.
Did you catch that? Let's play it again, but this time pay attention to her face at the end.
The carnivore diet didn't really fit my body type and my body goals.
Oh.
Yeah, you can see this hurt her. This hurt her deeply. It cut her deeply. But, you know, still, props to them for actually coming on the channel. One that's, like, designed for selling this idea and saying it didn't work. Props to them. That would have been fucking hard.
Oh man, what he's saying is killing her. Look at that face.
You know, I understand this as well because it is so hard to not be audience captured. Like on this channel, for example, I made a video recently where I was like, guys, you know what? I'm going to talk about atheism in this video, and there's something happening with Trump over in the US. It's not what everyone's saying. And I knew straight away that my audience was going to get fucking pissed over this, okay? Because I know the way, from the comments I read and stuff, the way you guys generally think and swing. And I knew I was going to cop a lot of flack for this, and I got fucking ratioed hard in the comment section. But at the end of the day, I'm being my honest self. This is what I believe based on what I'm reading, okay? So that's what I put out there. I cop it. I lose a fucking bunch of subs over it, but at least I get to stay honest to who I am about my, you know, my beliefs and stuff. So I understand that would have been hard for them. And she probably copped so much shit in the comment section too.
Ooh, his main goal was he wanted to put on some muscle size and get bigger, but here is what actually happened.
I just wanted to gain weight, yeah, and that was tough. No matter how much I ate or how little I ate on the carnivore diet.
This is true. Like, you can eat so much meat and not gain weight if you're doing just pure carnivore. For like that 1 month, I ended up losing something like 5 kilos, and that's really good. That was really good for me at the time, but it was just not maintainable. It was just insane. It was just too restrictive. You just cannot live like that.
I never really felt like I was getting closer to my own goals of physical composition.
Anyone who's picked up a dumbbell and chugged a few protein shakes really isn't surprised. Everyone knows your muscles need carbohydrates to create glycogen, which is what your muscles run on. Steak and butter boyfriend, look at me. Give me a few months and I can guarantee I can have you gaining size with just plants. Now, despite the fact...
Why not do it with a mixed diet? Why does he have to follow your plant diet? Okay. If you truly want to help him, you could have said, hey, you know what? I can help you with, whatever diet you're using with just a couple of tweaks. Why does he have to flip to the complete fucking opposite? That's what I don't like.
That so many of her claims about the magic powers of meat are falling apart in front of everyone's eyes, the carnivore movement has continued to pick up pace since 2020 and onward, and her content grows even more.
Yeah, so as you can see, they're both trying to win an ideological war. So she wanted her husband or boyfriend or whatever to come over to her side, at the cost to whatever he was trying. So he was trying to achieve muscles, okay? That's what he wanted to do, her boyfriend. And she wanted him to be on the diet. Now, I don't know if the diet can help you with that. I don't know, okay? But obviously, her main goal was not to help him with the muscles, it was to get him on the diet and sell that to her audience. Now, this YouTuber who I'm doing a review of, his main goal is obviously to pull the guy over to veganism. Where's the person whose main goal is to actually help the guy get muscles? Fucking everyone's just out here trying to sell their own goddamn ideas rather than actually help people.
But what happens next is crazy. This is way worse than her claims falling apart. We start to see real cracks in her conviction that carnivore is the best way of life. You see, as a carnivore advocate, your number one job is not to lose conviction. That's your one and really only job.
Come on, that's also the number one job of every vegan I've ever seen. You can't lose conviction. Oh, you see it. They've got like entire freaking Reddit threads devoted to this stuff. What do you do in this scenario? How do you get through this moment? Or when you're having like these, dark thoughts and stuff. Everything. Come on, ideologues always have this problem.
Check this out because it must be getting harder for her. Let's listen to what her boyfriend says here.
Because any other food, you see it as poison. Why do you see other food groups as poisonous?
You know how when we go out to eat and sometimes they bring me a steak or some type of dish that I ordered with plant toxins on it? Something even as little as pepper.
Look at that face. They've had squabbles over this before. Oh god, I felt it. I felt that so bad. I may be making a massive assumption about what's actually going on here, but that facial reaction is like, oh come on, it was just fucking pepper. And it was one time. Like, he died.
They bring out pepper. Sometimes they will cook it in seed oils and I can taste it.
Okay, as usual, she reinvigorates that cult-like adoration from her followers by doubling down with one of carnivore's favorite buzzwords, plant poison, claiming that she believes plants to be so toxic that even a little bit of black pepper on her...
Oh, I guess this is like the vegan one where it's like, are you gonna eat that dead carcass?
Steak is enough to ruin her meal and stop her from eating it.
I poop 2 times a week.
Wow, she really is the perfect carnivore queen. But then I found something...
I don't know why he keeps going on about the poop thing being an issue. Okay, so I'm going to talk from experience with the military. When I went out into the bush with the military, we would get these things that are called rat packs. They're ration packs, okay? And you would get one of these a day in Australia. I know the Americans get 3, those motherfuckers, but the Australian Army, we get 1. It's about that big. Man, it's that big and about that wide, okay? And it's got like a bunch of shit in there. Most of it is like, I swear to God, it's like 10 years past expiry date. But you eat this shit, and you'll eat it for a month, and you'll notice you never go to the fucking toilet. Never. So the way the other older soldiers explained it is because it contains literally just what your body needs and no extra shit, okay? There's nothing else. But then some of the other guys, it's like, that's the fucking cheese. You eat that stuff, it clogs you up and you're just clogged up. I remember I did a 3-month stint out at Shellwater Bay, which is it's this location in Australia. It's pissing down rain. I ate those rat packs. I think I went to the toilet once in 3 months. Don't know if that's healthy or not. I may have gone more, but I remember at the end going, am I gonna fucking die? I've gone to the toilet. So I don't know if this is like... But afterwards, this is the worst part, okay? When you get back from bush, you come back, what's the first thing you do after you've been eating these fucking ration packs for like 3 months? You go get yourself the greasiest, disgusting, most oil-filled fucking McDonald's you can. You eat that shit. And then, by God, a few hours later, you're in that toilet, and it's the most violent experience of your life, and it's oily as fuck. And trust me, you do not want to go through that. You're just sitting there going, It's violent.
Weird when I went digging around her Facebook page, which is one of her lesser known platforms.
Coffee on a carnivore diet. I personally drink this bitter plant poison every single day. I now only drink black coffee after eating a proper high-fat carnivore meal.
Wait, I thought plants were toxic.
Plant.
Yeah, I never got that with the carnivore diet. They're like, oh, you can still drink coffee. And I was like, well, it's technically not carnivore then, it's a plant, you know? But like, also, I'm trying to lay off the caffeine and shit because obviously caffeine is not good for you in a lot of ways. It is, like, I read this book on it, okay? Essentially, what it is it puts your body into a fight or flight reflex mode. So it's not good for you. It induces stress in order to wake you up. That's what I learned from that book. Could be completely wrong, but that's what I read in the book. And then that just made me think, that's probably not a good thing.
Toxins.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So is she not strictly carnivore then?
And also, at the end of the day, you can drink or eat whatever you want, and nobody's going to take away your carnivore card.
I'm so confused. She says plants are toxic, except for this plant that she loves to have so much that she tried quitting and then couldn't. This feels like a classic Paul Saladino moving the goalpost kind of play.
This is how to make watermelon sorbet with only 3 ingredients, and it's completely animal-based.
What? Oh, wait, okay. I'm thinking what's going... No, dude, come on. I gotta go back. I gotta see that.
Goalpost kind of play.
This is how to make
Yeah, that's a legit watermelon.
watermelon sorbet with...
I thought for a second that he'd turned meat to make it look like a watermelon. You know how, like, vegans, they love to make vegan food look like meat? Which is obviously... There's something going on there. Why does your plant have to look like meat when you're eating it, my man? Come on. That's the inner meat eater wanting some meat. And that's what I thought was going on here. I thought he made meat look like watermelon. But that's a fucking watermelon. How's this carnivore?
Only 3 ingredients, and it's completely animal-based.
Honestly, I don't really care what Bella does, but if you claim plants are poison in one moment, it seems fishy if you're eating them in another moment. But you know what? Maybe it's a fluke. Coffee is good. I like it. But hold on, because then I found this.
I've quit wearing sunscreen and no longer get sunburned after cutting out all seed oils from my diet.
What? There must be some wacky ass science I'm not aware of there.
I replaced all my seed oils with animal fats exclusively.
Okay, good. Our carnivore queen returns to her plants are poison throne. Everything feels right in the world again.
Explosive diarrhea, loose stool.
Then I did a little more digging, and I found her even lesser known beauty channel called Bella Ma, and look what I found here.
I just wanted to say thank you so much for stopping by here. I will be showing you my morning skincare routine. So the first step is facial oil.
Wait. Let's zoom in there. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that says hip seed oil, right? Isn't it toxic to put seed oils on the skin?
Plant.
This shit's blowing my brains out, okay? I'm trying to approach this in the most fair way possible. Okay. Realistically, if she didn't say that thing before, if a carnivore's like putting fucking seed oils and shit all over their face, I don't see how that's a problem. Because they're not like vegans, they're not ideologically opposed to these things, they're just opposed to eating them. But I don't know how that meshes with her previous statements.
Toxins.
Being carnivore is so confusing. Are plants toxic or are some of them okay? And then there's this.
And since vitamin C does make your skin more sensitive to the sun, I will be putting on the sunscreen by Paula's Choice.
Didn't she just say that meat has made it so she doesn't need to use sunblock anymore?
Okay, so that's what she said. Okay, well then, yeah, that's contradictory.
I've quit wearing sunscreen and no longer get sunburned after cutting out all seed oils from my diet.
At this point in my research, I was confused. She can't keep track of her own claims. How is anyone supposed to trust anything these carnivores say when they clearly can't even stick to their own advice? At this point, I thought I had dug up some of her craziest contradictions, but then something surfaced from the depths. Something so diabolical that I couldn't believe my eyes. A few pages deep into Google, a Reddit post with a precarious title rolled into view, and my jaw dropped. Now, before I show you this post, it makes a claim that is so damning that I want to be extremely clear and say that I do not know if this is true or not. I am simply presenting to you a public post that anyone can find on the internet. The title:
Steak and butter girl carnivore diet fraudster eats pasta and salad but edits them out of her photograph. Okay, so having done a lot of investigations, there's several things here. One, yeah, she could be a fraudster. She could just be eating salad on the side and not fucking telling anyone. Would not surprise me. There's been plenty of vegans being caught red-handed fucking eating meat, okay? But additionally, she may just be holding it for a fucking boyfriend. You know, he's just taking a photo or whatever for her. I don't know if this is like part of some promotional shot or something. There could be a number of reasons. Like, it doesn't really say too much. In fact, the fact that she actually made a video of her boyfriend and publicly said, you know, this diet doesn't work for him, even though she wasn't happy about it, makes me believe that she's probably an ideologue and really does just fucking eat meat.
Title of this Reddit post says, Steak and Butter Gal, carnivore diet fraudster, eats pasta and salad, but edits them out of her photograph. Whoa. Okay, now that is a very bold claim. Let's read more. He says, I was recently reading this new article published in the Rolling Stone magazine. On the article, there's this photograph of Steak and Butter Gal. He goes on to say, if you look closely, the dish she is eating contains pasta, wasabi, lemon, lettuce, and other salad. I want to emphasize that this photograph was taken in her apartment, so she cooked all these foods herself. It means she actually buys pasta and salad.
Yeah, her boyfriend, most likely. Because, like, this video would be contradictory in a lot of ways, because her cholesterol levels were through the goddamn roof. So unless she's eating a tiny, tiny ass amount of salad, I'm pretty sure she just eats meat.
Again, whoa. This is quite damning if it's true. And this isn't the first time carnivores have been caught eating the poisonous plants they are always so worried about. Paul Saladino's done it, Sean Baker's done it, the list goes on. Apparently some of the green stuff in the picture is wasabi, not avocado. I've also been told that the dish was ordered by Steak and Butter Gal's partner who is keto, which explains the greens. They always have an excuse.
Nah, that seems legit to me. If he's keto, then he would be eating his food while she eats her food. That's not really that surprising to me.
The jury's out. You can argue that that explains it away, or you can argue that she was caught and that's just the convenient excuse. What do you think? Either way.
Okay, so basically this is one ideologue, vegan one, trying to take down a carnivore one. And here's the thing, okay, I don't care if someone's a vegan or a carnivore, as long as they don't try and, make me feel bad about eating something. Like if a carnivore comes up to me and he's like, why are you eating that fucking plant poison? It's gonna fucking kill you. And I'll be like, okay, you fucking weirdo, stay out of my face. It's the same thing with vegans, man. If they come up to me and they're like, why are you eating that dead carcass? I'll be like, I fucking like the dead carcass. What are you gonna do about it? I don't like people trying to push their ideas onto me, but I am more than happy to explore them and look at, the science behind them and stuff. But let's be realistic. In this day and age, we do not have enough information about I'm not even going to call it a vegan diet. I'm going to call it a plant-based diet, pure plant-based diet, not a Mediterranean diet, a plant-based diet versus a carnivore diet on long-term studies. All these vegans out there and all these carnivores out there, they're the guinea pigs for the next few generations. We're going to learn so much from these guys that we'll actually find out. All we know, according to science, from what I've discovered so far, is that the Mediterranean diet seems to be the long-term one, the most likely one for longevity, and that's a mixed diet. Okay, obviously it doesn't include any processed shit, so that doesn't mean go, eat McDonald's in the Mediterranean type of thing, but that's what I've learned so far. Now, I am more than happy to explore other videos if you guys got recommendations on this channel, both vegan, carnivore, and everything fucking in between, because I'm getting really fascinated in this shit. And there's not enough fucking language videos. You guys got to start recommending me good language videos worthy of fucking reviewing. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this channel. Well, this video. I'll see you all next video. I want a steak.